When hunters experience a poor waterfowl season, they want to know why. People want a simple answer, but there are many factors influencing waterfowl migration and individual hunter success. Let's set the record straight by directly addressing a few of the misconceptions currently circulating within the hunting community. The biggest misconception is that poor hunting in southern states is due to waterfowl being artificially short-stopped in northern states by flooded agricultural crops managed for waterfowl hunting. There is no credible science to support this theory. Migration is largely driven by weather, specifically ice and snow cover, that freezes water bodies and limits access to food resources. Migration is risky for waterfowl. The closer they can stay to the breeding grounds, the better their chances are for survival and successful reproduction. So, in mild winters, they will stay farther north. Furthermore, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service harvest statistics for waterfowl hunting do not support the theory that ducks are being short-stopped. While the 2018-2019 season was a tough year for many hunters at the southern end of flyways, for the 2017-2018 season, the three highest harvests were in states at the bottom of their flyways: Louisiana, California, and Texas. And Louisiana continues to have some of the highest waterfowl harvest rates per hunter year after year. Rainfall is also a major factor driving waterfowl movement within the migration. Widespread wet conditions give ducks many options to move away from hunted areas, often resulting in reduced hunter success. Another misconception is that the Migratory Bird Treaty Act has been altered to allow hunting over flooded, unharvested crops. There has been no change in the legality of hunting over flooded, harvested, or unharvested crops. These practices have always been legal. They are legitimate waterfowl management practices that have been used across the continent for decades and contribute to the health and survival of migrating waterfowl. A tremendous amount of natural wetlands habitat has been lost across the continent. Impoundments where crops can be planted and flooded are important food sources for waterfowl and only partially replace the natural foods historically available. Every year we hear the rumors of the heated ponds that DU supposedly supports. This is absurd. Ducks Unlimited does not provide funding to support practices that may be used to keep waters open. The final false narrative I will address is that federal Farm Bill programs are paying farmers to grow, leave standing, and flood crops. Nothing could be further from the truth. Farm Bill programs like the Wetlands Reserve Program take flood-prone land out of production, restoring them to natural habitats. Ducks Unlimited's wetland restoration expertise is recognized by the Natural Resources Conservation Service. As such, we work with private landowners to restore these areas, but the funding comes from the landowners and NRCS, not Ducks Unlimited. Farm Bill conservation programs help waterfowl populations remain at sustainable levels to provide hunting opportunities as waterfowl migrate south and keep them healthy on their return trip to the breeding grounds in the spring. Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi are three of the 4 states with the most acres enrolled in the Wetlands Reserve Program. Together, these states have more than 700,000 acres of land that have been protected and restored to natural wetland habitats. Finally, I would ask you, beyond the facts, why would Ducks Unlimited do anything to alter migration or limit the success of southern hunters who are some of our most ardent, dedicated, and numerous supporters and volunteers? Since 1937, DU has worked with state, federal, and private partners to support robust waterfowl populations that provide hunting opportunities across all landscapes. Throughout our history, DU has maintained focus on supporting healthy waterfowl populations by providing sufficient habitat across the continent. It's important to fact-check what you are hearing. Waterfowl hunters are the best when it comes to supporting conservation, but false narratives harm important conservation efforts.